What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in today, and welcome to According to Joel. All right, guys, I'm gonna get straight to it. I don't really like talking videos much. I like the action, so I'm gonna get straight to the point, okay? I do have to get a couple things out of the way. Number one, go follow my boy Eddie Wilson. I'm gonna drop his Instagram below. Eddie is the reason for this video taking place. He was a risk taker, and he decided to try the direct injection pump from Ford Piston, which they claim to be a direct fit for the Accord, which is not. He tested it. He had to grind some stuff off of it to make it work. Still didn't get to work. Even the pigtail on it was different, so he had to make something work for it, and it still was not able to be compatible with the Accord. Okay, this is a Type R direct injection pump that's supposed to work for the Type R and the Accord, according to the description on the website. I don't know if they've updated it since, but basically it doesn't work. Eddie has a $1,600 paperweight now, and in the meantime, when he was doing this, one positive thing came out of it. While he was taking the risk, he saw that the fuel pipe feeding the fuel rail from the direct injection line had a really tiny hole in the opening of the fuel rail, right? So we were messaging back and forth when this was happening, and he said, hey, I wonder if we drill this, if we get more fuel out of it. And I said, dude, that looks really tiny. Like, if you're comfortable with it, try it. So he decided to try it. He drilled a hole with it with a 1/16. I'm gonna park so I can finish this real quick. With the 1/16 drill bit, and he data logged afterwards. He was able to see an increase. Long story short, he was able to go from 30% ethanol up to 40% ethanol safely at 26 pounds of boost. Okay, so not only was he able to get more boost, he was also able to increase his ethanol. Okay, so please go follow him, guys. Tell him thank you. Number two is, we're doing this because we want to see the car do better, right? We want to get more power out of it. We want to further the platform, and we're doing this because we love doing this stuff. Okay, we're not doing it for money, especially at ANI. We're doing this because we love it. Okay, I hope you guys are doing this for the same reason. We put our heart and souls, our money and sweat and tears into this. We don't always succeed, but at the end of the day, we do this because we love it. Okay, I hope you guys can share that passion like we do, and if you're watching this video, you probably do. So tell thank you to Eddie for the discovery. Tell him thank you for risking that money, for risking his time, and we're still doing this, guys. We're still trying new things. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but I just did a freaking headlight intake on the car. I'm gonna do a video on that later, so you guys can watch that later too. I also dynoed yesterday. I'm gonna make a video on that too. So we do this because we love it, guys. Okay, we don't do this for the money. We do it, I mean, first of all, we don't get any money out of it. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Okay, we're not doing this for dollar bills. We're doing this because we love it, and we're doing this because we want to get the car faster, and we love when other people follow us and do the same modifications we did, or, you know, they do something different, kind of go out of the box and do their own thing. So that's why we do it. Okay, first of all. And second of all, this has been tested by Eddie and I and a couple of other guys for at least 2 or 3 months now. I think probably 3 months. I have about 10,000 miles on my fuel pipe mod. I think Eddie has about 5,000 or so. He doesn't drive as much as I do, but we feel comfortable releasing this for you guys now because we think that it's proven, it's reliable, and it's safe. Now, with that being said, K-Tuner has not stamped their approval on this yet, because K-Tuner is a company that takes their time to do things right, and they want to make sure 1000% that it's going to work, that it's not going to hurt your engine, that it's not going to blow you up. So I applaud them for that. But be on the lookout for, you know, something being released from them eventually when they feel comfortable with adding this to their database or their platform or something. So next thing is, if you're doing this, please do it if you're skilled enough. Okay, it's not an easy mod, but if you have basic knowledge on how to work in a car, you can do it. Okay, keep in mind these fuel injection or this direct injection fuel systems are really touchy. Okay, so if you're gonna do this, feel 1000% comfortable doing it, or have somebody help you. Okay, or have someone do it. So without further ado, watch this video, guys. Hopefully people tag along and do this for the cars. You can run a lot more fuel now with this modification. The biggest hole that we've tried so far is 564ths, which is what I'm running in my car. I was able to go from 40% ethanol to 62% ethanol safely without a pressure drop. Now keep in mind, the results may vary for you. I am in Colorado. I'm at 6,000 feet of elevation. So if you're at sea level, you probably won't be able to get 62% out of this on a Type R turbo. But if you're doing this, please data log. Please find that sweet spot where you're not dropping any fuel pressure, and take it easy. You know, do baby steps. When I was testing it for myself, I was doing 1.5 gallons of E85, and then I would go log it. I would make a couple runs, and I would log it, make sure that the fuel pressure wasn't dropping, and I kept going until I found that the failing point, or not failing point, but the pressure drop point. So take it easy, guys. Take it slow. Do it right. Do it once. Don't have to do it twice. You know, like, take your time and do it right. So without further ado, watch the video. This is the install video. I did it with my dad. My dad has been off like 3 weeks now from work, so I found some time to spend some quality time with him. He's the reason why I started getting into cars. You know, he would tell me stories about how he was in his freaking Cutlass 442 back in the day and doing burnouts down the whole street. You know, like, he taught me how to drive when I was like 8 years old in his 1957 Chevy pickup, which he still has. And we're gonna be working on that soon, actually. So I spent some time with him, and he was helping me do it. I got frustrated in parts of the video because it's really hard to get your hands in there, and I got big hands. So take your time, do it right, find someone to help you if you can, or just have a professional do it for you. So I'm gonna shut up now for reals, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Share, like this video, and subscribe, please. I'm giving a Type R inlet and a parallel hose for it once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So help me share this, help me get to 1,000 subscribers, and share the love, please. Alright guys, so here I'm actually removing a 12mm bolt, and it's on a bracket. It's like a support bracket. It bolts up to the bottom of the intake manifold onto the block on the engine. So that just basically gives the intake manifold some support. You will have to remove it so you can actually free up the manifold and therefore get to the fuel rail. is the new one that I drilled out. That's the side that it goes to the direct injection pump. And this side is the one that I drilled out with a 1/16 drill bit. That's the one that goes to the fuel rail. So I'll show you that on the car right now. So that's your direct injection pump right here. And this is your feed line right here. Is your feed line to the fuel rail. So it goes down. You can take off the manifold. You see the fuel rail right there? That's where that line ends. That's where we need to take it off. Right there. And then that's your fuel rail right there. And if you go closer in here, you'll be able to see the whole fuel rail. And that's your intake manifold, the black one. And that's your intake port.
Alright guys, so this is where it's going to get really interesting. Probably the most difficult part of the install and removal. So you have 3 points on the fuel line, right? The first point is the one connecting it to the direct injection pump. And then the second point would be the bracket in the middle. That's just a little bracket that holds the pipe in place. That's going to be held by a 10mm bolt. And then the other end will be the fuel rail. That's the one that you drill out. That's going to be on both ends. They're going to be 19mm nuts. So once you get those loose, then you can undo that middle one with a 10mm bolt. That's going to be the hardest, I think, because there's a lot of stuff in the way. So you're gonna have to move stuff out of the way that's, you know, depending on the tools you have. I had to use 10mm socket, and then I ended up switching over to a stubby 10mm wrench. You see me right now taking out 2 10mm bolts. Those are the ones that hold that big harness that connect to the battery. So that actually freed up a lot of room for me. So take those out, and then just kind of see what else is in the way. Ended up moving the fuel line that's feeding the direct injection pump. I moved some of the brackets out of the way that are by the throttle body. Just move anything that's out of the way to make it easier for you to get to those. There's really no exact science to this. It just depends on the tools you have, and then how big your hands are, really. As you can see, my hands are already getting cut up, and I've already used like 3 sets of gloves because I keep getting them cut in places. But as you can see, the harness is moving around now. The fuel lines are out of the way. So now you can really get your hands in there and get the wrenches where you need them to be. So remember, both of the ends of the fuel pipes are going to be 19mm that you're going to be using a wrench. And then the middle one with a little bracket that holds it on the head itself, that's a 10mm bolt. That's going to be probably your hardest one to get to. I ended up using a 10mm wrench, a little stubby. And then as you can see, once you break it loose, you still don't have a lot of room, so you're gonna have to do a lot of little turns to be able to get out of the way. Once you get it loose enough, you can just do it by hand. And then at that point, you can undo both ends. Make sure you have that middle bracket one out of the way. Don't lose that bolt. Have a little magnet ready in case you do drop it, but try to keep it. Well, there it is, boys. That's your fuel line. That's a little sucker you're going to be replacing. And these are the comparisons side by side. On the left is your stock one. On the right one is the one that we actually already drilled out. Alright guys, time to put the new one in. Remember, the side that you drilled out goes on the fuel rail on the bottom, and the other side that you left alone with a bigger opening goes on the top towards the or on the actual direct injection pump. Now, this is the part that we struggled with in the beginning, taking out that little bracket in the middle of the pipe, that 10mm bolt. It's going to be just as hard, if not more, to get it back in there and to get it started. I had to walk away. I had to let my dad try it because he's got smaller hands, skinnier guy. I was getting really frustrated because I could not get it started. So you can see me here just watching him struggle too. So Just be patient, take your time, do it the right way, even if you need to get someone else to jump in and you know, give it a try as well. It is going to be a little bit of a struggle, but I promise you it is worth it. So keep going. All right, now that your middle bracket is in and bolted down, don't tighten it all the way, just tighten it down to where it's not going to go anywhere. And now you can start tightening the ends of it with a 19mm wrench. Once the new line is all plugged in and tightened up, now you can freely go ahead and put all the lines back in, the fuel lines, the brackets, anything you moved out of the way. Make sure it goes right where you took it off from, and all the harness, brackets, and anything else that you may have taken out of the way. Make sure it goes back how you found it, if not better.
Alright guys, we're just double checking everything, going over everything 3 times, making sure there's no leaks. No leaks there. Everything seems good. No leaks in the manifold that we can tell. It's good to go. Well guys, that was it. It's all done, ready to go. Hopefully it works. I'm gonna go drive it for a couple seconds real quick. Make sure it's perfect. This is the part number you'll need if you want to do this. Just a tip for you guys, if you are working on your car, it is a lot easier if you do this one for the hood prop as opposed to this one. That's your normal one. I call the bottom one the race one, so it cools off the car a little bit better with that one.